Artificial intelligence is doing a lot more than just changing our daily lives. It's actually rewriting the rulebook for modern warfare, especially inside the US military. And today, we're going to break down exactly how. So, will the next global conflict be won by an algorithm? I mean, that sounds like something straight out of a movie, right? But believe it or not, it's a question that leaders inside the world's most powerful military are taking very, very seriously. To really get our heads around this, we've got to pull back the curtain and look at the growing and often hidden role AI is playing inside the Pentagon. All right, so to really grasp just how big of a deal this is, we need to get back to basics. Let's look at the two key players in this story, the institution itself and the technology that's shaking everything up. Now, when you hear the words the Pentagon, it's easy to just picture that famous five-sided building. But it's so much more than that. We're talking about the entire command structure of the US military. Think Secretary of Defense, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the whole shebang. It's basically the brain, the absolute nerve center for all of America's defense. And that brings us to the tech side of things, and a really key phrase you're going to hear a lot: decision advantage. Look, military AI isn't about sci-fi robots. It's really about smart software that can chew through mountains of data to give commanders a critical edge. It helps them see what's happening more clearly and, crucially, act faster than an opponent. Okay, so why the big push? Why are they pouring billions and billions of dollars into this? Well, the answer really comes down to just how incredibly complicated and data-heavy modern warfare has become. Think about it. The modern battlefield is just a tidal wave of data. And while all that information is a huge asset, it's also a massive headache. There's just too much. The sheer volume of it all can completely overwhelm a human analyst. It's pretty much impossible for a person to process everything in real time. I mean, you've got data streaming in from satellites way up in space, from drones and planes in the sky, from ships at sea, sensors on the ground, not to mention intelligence reports and all the cyber chatter. Trying to manually sort through that flood of information as it's happening? Yeah, good luck with that. And that is where military AI comes in. That's its core job. It's not just about being faster, it's about finding clarity in the chaos. The whole goal is to use AI to cut through all that noise, find the one piece of information that matters, and give commanders the ability to make better, smarter decisions when everything is on the line. Okay, so we know why they need it, but how are they actually using this technology? Well, the answer might surprise you because it goes way, way beyond just the front lines. AI is really being woven into the entire fabric of the military. We're talking about intelligence analysis, finding that needle in a digital haystack. We're talking about logistics, using AI to make sure supplies, fuel, and ammo get where they need to go faster and more efficiently. And it's even being used for cybersecurity and predictive maintenance, like an AI that can tell you a jet engine needs a repair before it breaks. So who's in charge of all this? To lead this massive transformation, the Pentagon stood up a new office, the Chief Digital and Artificial Intelligence Office, or CDAO for short. Their mission sounds simple, but it's absolutely huge. Speed up the adoption of AI across every single part of the US military. And one of the CADO's really interesting projects is something called Task Force Lima. Now, this group is focused specifically on generative AI, the same kind of tech that powers things like ChatGPT. They're trying to figure out how to use it for military planning and intelligence, but, and this is the key part, doing it safely and responsibly. And then you've got this other thing, the Replicator Initiative. This one is a real potential game changer. The whole idea is to be able to field thousands, literally thousands, of affordable unmanned systems, like drone swarms, and do it super fast. The strategy is pure math. Counter an adversary's mass with mass of your own, and completely change the calculus of the battlefield. And what's really crucial to understand here is the massive shift in strategy this all represents. For decades, the Pentagon tried to build most of its own high-tech gear. Not anymore. Now, they're partnering directly with the big commercial AI leaders, companies like Google, OpenAI, you name it, to take the cutting-edge tech they've built and adapt it for defense. Okay, but with all this incredible power comes huge responsibility, right? Putting this kind of tech on a battlefield, it brings up some really serious ethical questions. So what are the rules? What kind of guardrails are they building? Well, back in 2020, the Department of Defense laid out 5 key ethical principles for AI. Basically, their set of promises that the systems will be responsible, equitable, traceable, reliable, and governable. The idea is to make sure they're used the right way, that we can understand how they work, and that they're not, accidentally biased. Now, of those 5, you could argue the most important one is governable. This is the big one. It's the human in the loop guarantee. It basically says that no matter what, if an AI starts doing something weird or unexpected, a person has to be able to step in and pull the plug, period. And it's not just about ethics. Securing these AI systems is a massive cybersecurity challenge in itself. They're vulnerable to some really unique kinds of attacks. An enemy could try to poison the AI by feeding it bad data during its training, or launch attacks specifically designed to trick its algorithms. It's a whole new front in cyber warfare. So when you put it all together, the tech, the new strategies, the ethical rules, it all leads to one huge fundamental question. How is artificial intelligence going to change the very nature of war itself? Some people believe we're entering a third major era of modern warfare. If the industrial age was all about mass and firepower, and the information age was about precision and networks, then this new AI age, it might just be defined by one thing: the sheer autonomous speed of decision-making. And that's where the danger lies. This race to get that decision advantage is sparking a global AI arms race. Every major power is rushing to build and deploy these systems faster than their rivals. And the risk is that this could actually make conflict more likely, creating a world where choices about war and peace happen at the speed of an algorithm. Which brings us right back to where we started. We're heading into a future where that line between a human decision and a machine decision in a conflict is getting blurrier by the day. The Pentagon is placing a massive bet that AI is the key to maintaining a strategic edge, and the rest of the world is watching and waiting to find out if that bet will make us all safer or lead us into a future that's more dangerous than we can even imagine.